Hey, what's up, guys? It's Luke, and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for watching. We have another booster draft picks pack from Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and I'm excited to open this one up. I'm actually a little bit sad because this week I have a job on Friday evening, which is when I usually go to Friday Night Magic at Davis Cards and Games. Can't go this week. So, probably just going to end up playing a lot of Arena to make up for that. But I'm glad I can open up one of these draft boosters, see what we get, make a pick, and sort of pretend like we're actually at the draft. Okay, so we'll just go through the pack, and then we'll start picking. How about that? Diagraph Horde, Path to the Festival, Thraben Exorcism, Geistwave, Arrogant Outlaw, Return to Nature, Organ Hoarder, Homestead Courage, Immolation, Shady Traveler, Nebelgast Intruder, Clear Shot, Devoted Graft Keeper, Hallowed Respite. We got a Forest, a Zombie, and another double-sided token. So we actually have some really premium cards here in terms of things that can be picked first. Let's take a look at the rare, though, because it's always important to look at the rare and decide, is that the card you want? This is one white and a blue, and it's Hallowed Respite. Sorcery. Exile target non-legendary creature. Then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it, otherwise tap it. Flashback. This is actually a really nice card. Too bad it's not an instant. It's a sorcery, so sorcery speed here. And, this is great. There's a lot of cards like Candle Trap and what else? Locked in the Cemetery or whatever, where you can return or you can exile the creature out of there as long as it's not legendary and bring it back if it's yours. You can also do that to your opponent if you need to get rid of their creature for some reason. Although, I don't know. Probably not a good idea to do it to the opponent unless there was some really good reason to do so. Maybe they have a lot of counters on it. I don't know what you would do, but they do come back tapped. So that can be something. I think it's a versatile card. I don't think it'd be a first pick in this pack because there's so many other good cards actually to pick out of this pack. I think my first pick, and this is just my own personal opinion, I think a lot of people would probably have some other picks instead of this one, but I'd pick Nebelgast Intruder. I really like Nebelgast Intruder. What happens is you can flash it in. It's flying, only costs 2 and a blue, and when it enters the battlefield, up to one target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-0 until end of turn. So, a lot of 2/2s, you can flash this in. It can actually kill the 2/2 by itself, or it can make it easier to prevent damage or other things. I really like Nebelgast Intruder, and when I see it, I don't see it that often. I think people pick this card pretty often. I will grab this card. I really like it. And I like blue-red, actually. I've become a big fan of blue-red in this format, so this is a great card. I think first pick for me is the Nebelgast Intruder. All right, second pick. Ooh, also tough. I think Organ Hoarder. In some of the podcasts, people really, really love Organ Hoarder. And I think Organ Hoarder is great. 3/2 is a nice stat line for 3 and a blue. It also gives you really nice card selection. You get to look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one in your hand, and the rest in your graveyard. Now, this works really well if you have stuff with Disturbed, because you don't feel as bad throwing cards, into the graveyard if you draw them up with Organ Hoarder and they have Disturbed. And you can pick up whatever else you need. And so, card selection-wise, Organ Hoarder is a boss. He's really good for that. And I don't know. I think Organ Hoarder is a spectacular card to pick up. I would definitely pick up this one second, even though there are some really nice cards here. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to go Clear Shot next. This is also a card I don't see very often, but it is so good. Clear Shot. It's like it's green's I think premium removal. You get a targeted creature or your creature, and it gets +1/+1 till end of turn, and it deals damage equal to the power to a creature you don't control at instant speed. A lot of things can happen. You could be in a battle, and you can play this. You can make your opponent lose, one of their cards. Plus, your guy gets +1/+1. It can swing the tide of battle really, really easily. It comes out of nowhere. It's a really nice card. And if I'm in green, and I've been playing more and more green recently, because no one drafts green. And green is great as long as it's open. If it's open and you get all those big, amazing green rares and cards like this at uncommon, I think green is a great color. Clear Shot is a great card. Okay, I think then I would pick Hallowed Respite or Hallowed Respite. I think it's Respite. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's white and blue, so you kind of have to be in white and blue. White and blue is a pretty good color combination. I really do like it. It's a strong color combination. White with all the small creatures, blue with a lot of creatures that come back out of the graveyard with Disturbed. It's great. And white too. White has that same thing. So this is a really great card. This card also has flashback, so it does really well with the white-blue sort of theme of graveyard, flashing back, and things like that. Really nice. I think it's a very multi-purpose card. I don't think it's not a bomb. It's a rare. It's a really good, like, Swiss Army knife rare, kind of. But it just doesn't have as huge of an impact as some of the other ones, but it will impact the game, and it will save you, I think, in some situations. So I do like this. I'm picking it, number 4. Here's a card that I think some people first pick, Diagraph Horde. It's very strong. It's, one card, but it's really like 3 bodies. You get this, and then you get 2 zombie creature tokens with Decayed when you do this. You also get to exile 2 cards from graveyards. This is a really nice card. Really strong at 3/4, plus the 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. It has a 5, deploy value, if you want to play him 4 and a black. It is a lot. You can't get this guy down too early, that's for sure. But when he comes down, he can really affect the board in a big way with the 2 zombies and with himself. I've had opponents put him down, and I'm just like, oh, okay, they've won the game because they put him down, and I don't have anything that can deal with this. A lot of like white and blue, they have 1 power, 2 toughness type deals, 2 and 2, 3 and 1. They can't do a whole lot with this, and he just is a whole lot of trouble. Really great card. I would pick that next at number 5. Okay, the rest of these, there are some good stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go with one of my favorites, Immolation. Immolation is basically a removal spell. It gives the creature +2/-2 for only 1 red. And when you play red and red-blue, you're trying to play a lot of spells because they pump a lot of the creatures that you might have, like Festival Crasher. That's one of my favorite cards too. And so Immolation for only 1 can pump that, get rid of something, especially like something with 1/2 or 2/2, something like that with 2 toughness. It does a really nice job. And I guess, and I've never really used it for this, but you could pump a creature of your own, giving them +2, and if they have, toughness more than 2, they would survive and be able to do a little bit of a beatdown and do a little bit extra damage, probably right to the face. So Immolation is a card I like quite a bit. It is an enchantment, so it's not like an instant or anything. You'd have to put it down and then do whatever else you're going to do. Okay, still lots of good stuff here. I think I'm going to pick Geistwave next. Geistwave is really cool. It only costs 1 and a blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And it counts for yourself too. If you're in trouble or if you need to save a creature, maybe have it block, and then Geist Wave it back, and you get to draw a card if you control it. Or you can get rid of your opponent's card. This is another one of those versatile cards that can either help you or can punish the opponent. I do like Geist Wave, and it's not a card that costs too much to play either. So Geist Wave is definitely a strong pick for me. And this is all the way down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th pick, Geist Wave. Next, I think I'd go with the Devoted Graftkeeper. I just like that blue-white. He has Disturbed. When he enters the battlefield, you mill 2 cards, which in blue-white is pretty good for yourself. And whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, you get to tap a creature you don't control. That can be pretty powerful. And on the back end, Departed Soulkeeper is a 3/1 flyer. So if they don't have flying, this is going to do a lot of good. It can only block other creatures with flying, so maybe that's not the best. But still, it's a 2-for-1. Any of these Disturbed cards are 2-for-1s and can be pretty powerful. This is a good one in blue-white, for sure. Okay. I think we'll go with the card right here, Path to the Festival. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but I mean, it's okay. For 2 and a green, you get to look for a basic land card. So it does some mana fixing, only if you're in green, though. You can get some other color. You can also scry 1 with it and flash it back. Not really the best, but I could see, I mean, I've definitely played this card before, and in green, you do need a lot of mana in play, and Path of the Festival is going to do that for you, because the card you get goes right onto the battlefield. Although it's tapped, at least it can be a second land drop on the turn. Let's go here, Homestead Courage. This is kind of just like a little janky card where you get to put a +1/+1 on a target creature you control. Also gets Vigilance, though. And this card can flashback, same thing for just 1. So this is nice because you can get Coven, which is a really huge thing in the color white and green. And so by costing only 1, I think it's a great deal. You can put +1/+1 counters, and +1/+1 counters, they stay. They don't disappear unless they die or something like that. So I do like Homestead Courage a lot. I'll definitely pick this card up if I see it later on in the pack. I think we'll go with Arrogant Outlaw next. This is like the worst version of the AFR Vampire. When Arrogant Outlaw enters the battlefield, and if an opponent lost life this turn, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. So not as good as the Vampire, and I don't remember the Vampire's name from the last set, but he was one of the best. Because you have to have the opponent lose life already to trigger, that automatically makes this guy not as good. So, maybe worthy of a lower pick there. Shady Traveler, I think is okay. Actually, pretty good. Has Menace, so can't be blocked except by 2 or more. Has Daybound, so that means it does have a Nightbound side. 2/3, which is nice stats, because anytime I see that 3 toughness there, I like it, because I feel like it'll stay on the battlefield more often. Turns into a 4/4 with Menace. I think it's a solid body. A very solid card. Yeah, I wouldn't mind picking him lower here in the pack if he's still available. And lastly, these 2 cards are very much the same. I don't know what I'd pick. I probably wouldn't play either of them. Thraben Exorcism is really good in the sideboard, because if you're playing like a Spirits deck and you find out, I would throw this in. It'd be like your A+ card at that time, because it exiles spirits, creatures with disturbance, or enchantments. That's really good. You just got to make sure your opponent is playing that stuff. And this is sort of the green version of it. You can destroy artifact, enchantment, or exile a card from graveyard. So I think it's not as good as Thraben Exorcism. This hits artifacts. They both do enchantments. This one just destroys enchantments, exiles it, and gets spirits. I think this is a better card, and then Return to Nature is probably the worst one in the pack. So there we have it. So let's just go back through. Last pick in this pack was Return to Nature. Then Thraben Exorcism, The Shady Traveler, Arrogant Outlaw, Homestead Courage, Path to the Festival, Devoted Graphkeeper, Geistwave, Immolation, Diregraph Horde, Hallowed Respite, the rare in the pack going fourth, Clear Shot third, Organ Hoarder second, and my card that I would get is the Nebelgast Intruder. Feel free to totally disagree with my picks. I'd totally fine. Let me know what you would have picked, what order, what changes you would have done. But that's what I would have done at this point. So thanks for watching. Join me on the next one. I'll see you then.